God is warning against shapeshifting, and let me make that make sense. Some of you guys are trying to replace a permanent God with a temporary solution. And by that, I mean money. I'm going to get straight into it. And I'm going to use the story about Micah's idolatry for reference. And that's in the book of Judges. Go look it up. Read your Bible. So we know that in the chapter where Micah's idolatry is recalled, one thing that stood out to me was that Micah's mother had made an offering up for her son, a money offering, right? And she did so in a time where she would still need the money, okay? But the Lord wasn't coming fast enough for Micah's mama. She was complaining about the sacrifice in the ears of Micah. So you can understand maybe as a child how you might hear your parent talk about what they've done and the sacrifices that they've made just for you to do this or for that or whatever the case may be. And that could cause the child to feel guilty, okay? So we know Micah goes and he steals the money. He gets the money back. And he tells his mother, right? And she praises him for it. And then she gives him some of that money and to go get him a false god made, okay? And likewise, he goes and he gets that made, right? Now that becomes his father. But we see in that storyline that Micah was still searching for a father. And that was because his mother was focusing so much on a temporary solution, meaning the money. She needed the money right then, but she had impatience where she couldn't wait for God to come to get the blessing, okay? Because even if she would have gotten the money, the fact of the matter is that when the money runs out, she's right back where she started, right? You're right back at the beginning. You're right back where you started. So the money is a temporary solvent. You understand what I'm saying? You're gonna fix whatever you need to fix right now, and then you'll be right back in that same position. So in her mind at that time, just reading the passage, it's as if she feels the money being her God would have solved her problem eternally. Not possible. Not possible. So she traded in a forever God, a permanent God, for a temporary solution. So Micah, now believing that this image that's been made, because it's been made and he has it, it won't leave him, okay? It's like money. When you think, well, I made it, so it won't leave me. Well, the thing about it is you have to keep making it. It's a temporary solution. You have to keep making it. So this is how we can start to idolize the works of our hands, because you made it and you feel like, well, if I made it, I can make it again. It won't leave me. But God is all powerful, and God gives us the ability to get wealth. So you have to acknowledge where that power comes from and stop idolizing the works of your hands. And even then we see that Micah's idols would be stolen from him, the priest included. He was looking for a father, right? The eternal presence of a father you cannot replace. That's a permanent experience, a permanent emotion, a permanent presence, an eternal presence. You can't replace that. No amount of money can replace that. So unfortunately, that situation, Micah's mother may not have known, but what she was reinforcing was an abandonment wound. Because while she's addressing this lack in the ears of her son, she's making him aware of the fact that there's lack, and also making him feel responsible for the lack because she gave as an offering for him. So it's to say it's your fault, one, and also it's evidence that there is not a man in the house, there's not a father in the home. Abandonment wound. It's the orphan spirit. It's the spirit of rejection. And he would go on to look for a father. It was evident from the beginning that that's what was missing. So God is warning against shape-shifting. Anytime you start feeling like your sacrifice is not equivalent to what you're expecting in return, I want you to think about this video. I want you to think about it like this. If God calls you to sow a seed, if God were to tell you, sow $20 into this ministry, sow $100 into this ministry, and I'm going to bless you. And then you turn around, you sow that, but in the back of your mind, you're thinking about what you're losing, what you won't have, and how much that offer or that offering cost you. Not realizing that by you sowing that into the ministry, that God sees that as your faithfulness and your commitment, and he's going to do God math. You have to be patient in order for you to receive that, but he's going to do God math. So he could double that, triple that, whatever the case may be when you receive that back. But even that, whatever the tangible manifestation of the blessing is just a token to show you that God is with you, that he hears you, that when you cry, he's coming, that he's coming to see about you, that you are his child, that you are loved, that he's coming for you, that if you cry, he's tending to it, that he's there with you. It's just a token to show you that he's present, and you cannot pay for that. So the tangible manifestation of the reward that you may receive for blessing or sowing into ministry isn't nowhere near what you're receiving in a spiritual father, from your spiritual father, which is confirmation that he is with you. That destroys the orphan spirit. It breaks the system of the abandonment wound and the spirit of rejection. It breaks that system. It pokes holes in that system, and it has no choice but to collapse. So, yeah, just thought I'd share that. Don't shapeshift. Love y'all.